Coach Greg, and today's video is all about Thomas Delauer. I'm gonna show you and prove to you that he's full of shit and he doesn't make sense in what he's saying. He uses big words and scientific studies that he's cherry-picked to just make it look like what he's saying is the truth, when in fact it is not. So stay tuned and watch the entire video, because I guarantee by the end of it you will agree with me. And so to do this, I chose a video called 5 Biggest Causes of Belly Fat for Men. Fat Loss 101. Before I get into that, I want to point out how I am not a doctor, I'm not a registered dietitian, and I am not a paid actor, nor am I an actor of any sorts. And which is basically what I saw when I watched Thomas's video, where to me he's just a good-looking guy with a good body, reading a script and not making any sense at all. And I mean at all. Like, it's not even close to factual. I will prove to you and explain to you why that it's bullshit. I'm sick and tired of everyone tricking everyone and scamming you out of your money, trying to make it look like one thing's true when it's not, and trying to look all scientific and quoting bullshit cherry-pick studies. So obviously I'm worked up because I just watched this video and I'm mind-blown on what he's saying. Like, I literally can't believe how stupid the shit he's saying is. Now listen, guys. To sound smart, all you have to do is talk about something you know 5% more of than the person that you're speaking to. So his audience, his target audience, is basically people that want to lose weight. That's you. You guys right there. That's you, who I'm talking to. You just want to get in shape and lose weight, and you watch his videos and you're like, oh man, that makes sense, and that makes sense, and that makes sense, but it really doesn't make any sense. I have an education, I have a master's degree in kinesiology. I'm able to read his studies and show that it doesn't make sense what he's saying, and his conclusions are just redonkulous. So what he does, he puts a scientific spin on everything he says, and he uses big words that no real people use. 99.9% of the people that watch his videos watch it and remember the simple stuff, and all these scientific mumbo-jumbo words, he throws them out there to sound smart, so to fool you into thinking, oh, he's some kind of genius that knows everything he's talking about. It's not. All you have to do is Google this stuff, put it on his monitor, and be like, hi, I am the 5-alpha reduced alpha substate. It's like, yeah, okay, you're just reading what some bullshit thing said. Doesn't mean anything. You can't just draw conclusions the way he is. This is why he says men are storing body fat. Number 1. They're not eating enough salt. Not enough salt. Not enough salt. Yeah, okay. So I'm not making this up. This is what he said.
So having belly fat is because you're messing around with your sodium levels.
So he says cutting out salt increases aldosterone, and then this makes you store more water and make you look puffy and bloated. He's saying that's from cutting out salt, not adding more salt. So he's literally saying that if you don't have enough salt, you get more puffy and bloating. So like reducing your salt a lot is gonna make you like puffy and bloated. So he then tries to look smart. He reads this word, 11-hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase. Do I know what that word is? No, I'm not pretending to bullshit you. So what he says is, it converts inactive cortisone to active cortisol, which then causes you to store more belly fat due to having 4 times more cortisol receptors in the abdominal fat tissue than anywhere else. It sounds all great, doesn't it? Sounds, oh wow, this is a big word, it does this, it causes this, so no salt, and you get more fat. Does anyone literally actually think, anyone, any of you, do you really think that the reason when you see somebody really overweight and you look at them, they have this big stomach, do you really look over and think, oh, I bet that guy's not eating enough salt. Must be the low sodium diet that guy's on. Yeah, it can't be from eating burgers and pizza. It's gotta be he's on a low sodium diet. Do you know how hard it is to not eat enough salt? You have to literally know a lot about nutrition to even handpick the foods that don't have enough sodium to get not enough sodium. No one is fat in the stomach because they don't have enough salt. They're fat because they eat too many calories than they burn. More calories taken in than they burn off. They're not doing enough cardio, they're eating too much. Not the salt. If you go on a low salt diet, guaranteed you're gonna start losing weight. Guaranteed. Because guess what? processed foods are all loaded in salt. So if you automatically go on a low sodium diet, you just cut out all fast foods, you cut out all processed foods, you cut out almost everything that has a decent amount of calories in it. It's going to be much harder to get fat trying to just eat vegetables and fruit and things that are low in sodium. You hardly have any choices of food left. Not enough salt, so stupid, not the cause of more belly fat. Lower sodium diet, you will literally look leaner, not fatter. So what I hear is when I watch this video is basically this. Science, 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 science. Listen to me. Science, 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 science. I know more than you. Science, 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 science. Water, you're puffy if you don't have salt. That's all I heard. It makes no sense what he's saying. So this is literally what really happens. When you cut down on salt, your body increases urine output. Not decreases, increases. So if you go on a low sodium diet, you will literally lose more water weight and look not puffy. You will look drier and leaner. Every time I do a photo shoot or a bodybuilding show or have to cut weight for powerlifting or coach people to cut weight to make weight for like MMA fights, boxing matches, anything, first thing I do is cut carbs and salt so that you excrete more water and you get leaner and drier and harder looking. After you cut salt really low and say you lose 5 pounds of water and you're all shredded, well, at this point, the body's making more aldosterone, producing it more, so that it prevents you from over dehydrating even further so that you don't die of dehydration. That happens after you cut out the salt. Not before, not right away, not from just having no salt. It's once you're already super shredded and dry and lean looking, it doesn't want you to die of having no water. So then it makes you store some water because you've already lost too much. That's a lot different than what he's saying. So he draws one conclusion from one science or one piece of literature and assumes that it's all this other stuff because he doesn't actually understand it in the first place. Because if he did, he wouldn't say what he's saying. So number 2, even more stupid than number 1. How is it possible to be more stupid than number 1? He found a way. Performing cardio in a fed state, he says, makes you fat in the stomach. Literally, he says, if you exercise in a fed state, so like after breakfast, say, you're gonna gain fat in the stomach. So if I add cardio, but if I ate first, it makes me fatter. That's so stupid. I'm going to quote, I have to read word for word what he said so you don't think I'm making bullshit up. I'm going to quote, okay, if you do cardio in a fed state after breakfast or after you've already eaten, it's kind of wasting your time and potentially causing you to store fat. End of quotes. I didn't make it up, people. Watch the video.
But if you're someone that is just trying to go to the gym to do a little bit of cardio, then doing it in a fed state after you've already had breakfast or after you've already eaten is actually just kind of wasting your time and causing you to potentially store fat.
He says, we want you to do your cardio in small amounts in a non-fed state, in a fasted state. He actually says this. So his idea is to not have a belly, you do a little bit of cardio, a little bit, 15 or 20 minutes, he was saying, a little bit. But it has to be empty stomach, like you wake up and you haven't eaten yet. That's the secret. You have flat stomach and you get to look like sexy Mr. by doing tiny amounts of cardio in a non-fed state. That's just all I have to do. That's the secret. Yep. And if you do cardio after you eat, so you eat breakfast and you go for a 2-hour bike ride, whoa, boy, you're going to get fat. What, all that food you just ate and you did what? So, why do people believe him? Because he referenced a study. Ooh, what study did he reference? Well, we looked at a study with 9 participants. 9 people in a study, one study that he cherry-picked. 9 people. And then he uses huge words. So he has a study quoted. So already some of these people are watching his videos thinking, oh, it's true. He's quoted this study. It's literature. It's got to be true. 9 people are in it. Then he uses big words to sound smart again. And he's just reading off a prompt. intramyocellular triglycerides, P70S6K. He's quoting a bunch of things no one's really, I mean, some of you have heard of this. 1 in 1,000 of you have heard this, and you know, and you're all geniuses, and you studied this, and that's great for you. But most people have not. And it's not going to make a difference. You just can't just quote, he's just trying to look smart. He's not going to quote the other 1,000 studies, ignore the other 1,000 that say that cardio doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Literally, it doesn't matter when you do cardio. Calories in, calories out, end of the day, that's what matters. First law, thermodynamics, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It doesn't matter if you did cardio before or after you ate. You burn the same amount of calories that you burn as the calories you burn. You can't magically create the calories or magically take them away. Moving on to number 3, sleep deprivation. So finally, we agreed on something. Because I'm not just here to just say every single thing he says is wrong. If it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, it's right. So sleep deprivation. When you're sleep deprived, so in other words, if you needed 8 hours of sleep and you sleep 4 hours of sleep, which is basically what he said, what it does, it increases cortisol, but it also increases ghrelin, okay? Ghrelin makes you hungry. And it does the same kind of thing to your body as, like, say, smoking a joint and you get hungry. Then when you're hungry, and you're more likely to want to eat, and when you eat more calories, and if you eat more calories and you don't burn them off, then you store fat, and of course some of it's going to be stored in the belly. Boom. That makes sense. Everyone can understand that. I always tell people, when you're sleeping, you can't be eating. You're sleeping. So the more sleep you get, the less food you're going to eat. Sleeping is awesome. I also tell people, if I had a choice between a fat burner and a sleeping pill to lose weight, I would take the sleeping pill every single time. If you only can sleep 4 hours and you're in bed and it's 11 o'clock and you can't sleep till 2 a.m. because you're tossing and turning, chances are you're probably eventually going to get up, lose your willpower, and go eat some cheesecake and then go back to bed. And trust me, people do this all the time. So people who sleep more are naturally leaner. It's proven. People with more sleep are leaner people. People who are on, like, messed up sleep schedules, they sleep in the day, wake up at night, they have a night shift, and the next day a day shift, and it's all over the place. These people struggle with weight loss way more because you're hungrier and you end up snacking and eating too much, and it's bad, okay? So we agree on point number 3. Point number 4 is arguably more redonkulously stupid than the first 2 points.
The 4th mistake is going to be consuming too much fruit in an effort to be healthy.
I would say it's more stupid. This is the most stupid thing he said. He says that consuming too much fruit in an effort to be healthy is causing people to get big stomachs. What? So he's blaming obesity in America. It's gotta be one of the main reasons is because we eat too much fruit. We're trying to eat too much fruit. So all these people are, I'm gonna lose weight. I eat too much McDonald's. I know what I'll do. I'm gonna start doing what that Greg guy does. He says to eat a lot of fruit and vegetables. Well, I don't really like vegetables, so I'm gonna eat fruit. So I'm gonna start eating apples and pears and bananas and strawberries and blueberries. Oh, what happened? I'm now obese because I ate fruit. No! That's the stupidest thing in the world. Fruit is awesome. Do you know why he says fruit is bad? Because it has fructose. Fructose. Oh my God, it is fructose. I'm so sick. I am so sick of people that say you can't have fruit and vegetables and they quote stupid bullshit, fructose, and they say it's the big difference. Then they find a study. Oh, he found a study to show he's correct. What did the study say? This is what the study said. So he's trying to prove that eating fruit, an apple, is causing people to have a big belly. So what study does he do? There was a study that had 2 groups of people drink a drink. One had glucose in it. The other had fructose and glucose in it. And the one with the fructose in it, they gain twice as much fat as the one with the glucose in it. A drink. So he's saying if you drink with fructose in it, pure drink, like a pure drink of just sugar, not fruit, the fructose in the fruit, just the pure drink, that caused the gain. How can you just draw one conclusion from saying fruit is making you gain fat? And I proved it because fructose in a drink makes you gain more fat. The study wasn't, we gave two groups of people. One group ate burgers and fries, and the other group ate apples and bananas, and the apples and bananas gained more fat. No, it was a fructose drink compared to a glucose drink. That is not the same. You can't compare that. That is stupid. And he quotes it and says big words and talk smart, and he's so handsome, and he says it's such a good way, and his voice doesn't sound stupid like mine. So he has 1.6 million followers. He's so good looking and has a better body than Greg, and he's not on steroids. Greg is on steroids. Even though no one knows if he's on steroids or not, I'm not even gonna comment if he is or not. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's not his body that matters. It's not how he looks that matters. It's what is he actually saying. Look through the information and decide for yourself. Number 5, drinking too much alcohol. Okay, well, I'm not going to argue that if you drink more calories and they come from alcohol, that of course you're gonna store more body fat. It's calories in, calories out. However, if you only drink alcohol and you're in a deficit, you are going to get shredded. So in other words, if I eat 3,000 calories a day to maintain this, whatever body you see, and then I start, from now on, I'm going to eat 1,000 calories of beer and 1,000 calories of protein French toast, and that's a total of 2,000 calories. My stomach is not going to get fat because I'm in a calorie deficit. I'm going to get mind-blowing shredded drinking 1,000 calories of beer and 1,000 calories of French toast because it's calories in, calories out, French toast. And it won't matter if I have to add fruit to that. It won't matter if I do my cardio after I friggin' eat breakfast or not. And guess what? If I have not enough salt, it's also not gonna make me have a beer belly. Now, it's actually a myth. So he goes into like, oh, the alcohol causes more estrogen. You know, there's androgen receptors in the stomach, and no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how it makes you feel.
You can't spot reduce, and you can't spot put on. Can't spot reduce, can't spot put on. You can't just say, oh, I'm a bikini girl, and I have too much fat in my hips, and my belly's too lean. So I want to balance out my fat loss. So I'm going to drink lots of alcohol so that I store fat in my stomach, but then it comes off from my hips. No, you can't do that. It doesn't happen. Your fat comes off where it comes off. It's genetically predetermined. Men have more apple shapes, more in the stomach. And it's not from eating apples. They didn't say it's apple shaped because there's fructose in it. Apple shape is because you're more of a circle. He overstates results. He just simply makes it like it's this or that, black or white, and points it's more than this, and if you eat fruit, you're gonna be a fat stomach. He doesn't just say, oh, well, if you overconsume a whole lot of fruit and it's so much sugar from it, or you take the apple and you squeeze it out and make apple juice and drink the apple juice itself without the pulp and the fiber and the antioxidants and all the good of the fruit, that it's bad. So he basically summarizes it, cherry picks it, and spews it out to you to fool you with information, to sound smarter than you, and to trick you, and then you end up following him because, well, he sounds so smart, and he's so good looking, and I just believe him because he's such a nice guy. He just wants to help us. He's such a nice guy. He doesn't make millions of dollars from YouTube. He doesn't have an ad at the start of his every video. Oh, buy this Greek yogurt, buy this, sell this. Oh, use this salt, use this salt. He promotes his business. He's a smart man. Is he some kind of nutrition specialist? Does he have a degree? Is he a certified, is he a doctor? Is he a nutritionist? Is he an expert in the field of some sort? Or does he have a business degree? I don't know. You can go research it and find out. Sounds like maybe somebody knows what he's doing with business. He was a fat guy at one point, 300 pounds in his 20s, lost 100 pounds, And if you try to find out if he's natural or not, they'll say, oh, yeah, it could be natural, but maybe he just took T-ball or Clen or whatever. It doesn't matter what he did. He looks great now. He speaks with bigger terms, and he cherry picks more studies, and Greg's all bro science. He doesn't know anything. Greg doesn't have a master's degree in kinesiology. He's just a bro science guy. I'm not a friggin', whatever you call it, specialist businessman, know what to say, perfect speaking, I'm deep voice speaker. No, I'm not. I just have my own voice, and I say my own thing, and I call out bullshit, and this guy is full of shit. I could go on for hours about all the other stupid things he's got going on. Do whatever you want. Go watch his other video, compare it to mine, see if you believe all these studies he's saying, see if what I said actually makes sense, see if you believe my word over his. Anyway, if you want to see more videos from me, there's always a couple videos you can look that are going to be cool. Learn from my stuff, please, and subscribe to my channel. Click the bell button to get notified. Check me out for coaching, gregdoucette.com, or follow me on Instagram, Greg Doucette, IFBB Pro. Until next time, stay tuned for plenty more.